Hi, guys. My name's Chris Lengyel. I'm the owner of HelpMePTSD.com, HelpMePTSD.org, and we have a great little interview here today for you. I've got today a veteran, one of my friends, one of our newest family members to Help Me PTSD, and his name is Dom Perez. We're going to bring him on just in a minute, and what we're going to talk about today, guys, is the transition process between active duty and civilian life. What does that look like? A lot of our civilian followers might not know what the struggles are of transitioning from military active duty to going to, civilian life, which doesn't operate anything like the military. I know it was difficult for me to transition in many different ways, and I wanted to bring someone on with a different perspective, a different experience, different struggles in that process to give us some insight on what it's like to not be in the army or not be in the military anymore. So without further ado, I want to bring on Dom Perez to our show. Here he is. Hey, Dom, how are you doing today?
How you doing, buddy? Nice to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. So today we're going to talk about the military to civilian transition, right? And how is it what the old way was, what the new way is. But before we get into all that, tell our viewers a little bit about you. What'd you do in the military? How many years did you serve? And, what are you doing today?
Alrighty. Well, I joined back in 2006. As soon as I joined, I immediately went for 13 Fox, a sport observer. A few things changed after that. I ended up, by the, graces of God, becoming a 92 Golf, which is one of the best MOSs there is. 8.5 years doing that. I traveled all over the place, Iraq, I went to Germany, Ireland, Korea for 2 years. It was a really, really great experience. And now currently what I'm doing, I work with the elderly. What I do is I was a home curator as soon as I got out because I have grandparents who are, obviously getting older on me and they need to be taken care of. So what I did was I got my CPR license and I became a home curator. And that's what I currently do now, but I am a supervisor for others, meaning I teach them how to do the simple basics, pick people up out of bed, things like that, make sure that they cook their meals the right way with proper nutrition.
No, that's awesome. And it's, one of the things that's needed, especially in the elder population or, our grandparents, it's one of those things that people forget about. Part of the process of life is getting older. And when we get older, there's certain things that we need to make sure we can take care of. And there's some things that over time we're not able to take care of anymore. And it's awesome that you're able to do some of those amazing things with the elder population. And that's just awesome. And I know, just for you guys that don't know, Perez, or as I call him Perez, his first name's Dominick, but we all call each other our last names in the Army. He's going to be the new global sales director of Help Me PTSD. We're putting together an awesome consulting team right now, and he's going to be helping Help Me PTSD get to all across the United States. And I want to welcome you to the family, Perez. We want to have you back on here to talk more about, of course, that and all the other things that you think about, regarding mental health and what we need to do to make things different. So what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about, what was the transition process like for you, man? Like, what did that look like going out of the, getting out of this structured military and going to something that was just like, hey, no one's listening to you and no one's ranks on their chest, and how does the world function? Well, it looks like we're getting a little frozen right now with Perez. Little technical difficulty. Looks like he's back up now, so I'm going to bring him back in the screen, see if he's unfrozen. Are you still there, Perez?
I'm back, I guess.
There we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but go ahead and tell us about that transition process.
Right. The transition process, like I said, it's not something that's easy for anybody. You can try to prepare for it as much as you can, but really there really is no preparation for that. It's simply the experience. You have to make sure that you have to take advantage of everything that they give you, from the classes of resume building to how to look for jobs after being part of the United States military. taking your skill that you learned, any skills that you may have learned, and transitioning that into civilian education, maybe before you get out or after, and continuing, going forward from there. Uh, one of the hardest parts too is also coming back home, period. You're so used to doing things, at a routine. You have 4:30 wake up, 6 o'clock PT for some of the, very, very lucky ones. And then you have your work day, you know what I mean? And you become part of that routine. You basically become so used to it that that's all you know. And then you get out and you're like, wow, I can wake up at 10 a.m. and I can do whatever I want, So there's good and bad. You have to unlearn a few things to learn a few new things, you know what I mean? But
No,
for the most part, if you keep it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say no. That's awesome, and I mean I completely understand where you're coming. I know I tried to get out of PT as much as possible. You already know this. I'll do night baking or anything to get out of
Yeah,
going to
of
PT
course.
with first sergeant. I'd rather go to the gym with the
Of
small group
course, dude. I
later.
mean, yeah, man. Night baking was great. Night baking, actually, that was one of the most therapeutic times I had in the military. You know what I mean?
Right. So let's talk about the separation process. For some vets, it can be very turbulent. Sometimes the Army wants to kick you out before you're ready to get out. What's the
Right.
separation process,
Right.
and is it fast? Is it slow? I mean, there's different ways people get separated. So
All
what
right.
did that look like for you, and how fast was it that you like woke up to this new civilian reality?
Fortunately for me, they weren't trying to kick me out super quick. You know what I mean? They wanted to put me through the motions. But for the most part, they just want you to make sure you take care of you, because a lot of your command either won't have the time to take care of you, or they would have expected you to learn that already before you got out. But separation through the ACAP process is simple as long as you follow your package. They give you the paperwork. All you have to do is show up at the right times in the right uniforms and be ready to pay attention. It's like anything. And that right there, just a simple ACAP process that can take, maybe 30 days or so, um, you learn vital information and vital tools that you're going to need upon stepping out that door. It was just like walking into the military. You didn't know what to expect. And now you're walking out of the military and you still don't know what to expect, even though you left this behind to join. But this in itself is also a brand new world. Once you get out, things are very, very different. And your ACAP process is essential, very essential, from the resume builder to the list that they give you of jobs fitting your MOS. It's pretty hectic, but you can get through it. It's pretty good.
Right. No, and that's true. And the best recommendation I can for any active duty member that's going out of the military right now, if you watch this, man,
Right.
take advantage of these ACAP classes. Take it seriously, man, because I didn't when I got out, and it made my transition process to civilian life real difficult. I wish I would have done more with my resume. I wish I would have done more to set up getting
Right.
enrolled in school and some of these other
Right.
things. And that's a really important time where you're not focused at the unit. You're given time in your schedule and day to go handle these different tasks. And really, that's the start
Right.
where you can be successful or more successful once you're separated out. So, going on to that, once you've gone through ACAP, you've gone through the exfil process, so to speak. When you go back to return and integrate, a lot of vets don't have the family support. They're not going back home to open arms at sometimes. And a lot of it's, it's not a good transition. So what was it like, one, for you returning and integrating back into civilian life? What are the struggles that you went through? And what do you think would be, if you could go back and tell yourself advice on something to do differently, what are some of those tips to return and integrate and have a better success?
Integration, like anything in life, takes time. Okay. And there is plenty of time. You just got to know how to use it. You want to do so much at once, but like I said, things change. So you come back into family life and everybody misses you and everybody wants a piece of you, upon walking through the door. But, your little niece and nephew that were like 2 or 3 are now 10 or 11, maybe. Sometimes there's huge gaps from the last time you saw somebody to the following time you see them. And then getting to know everybody all over again as well, so to speak. I mean, I know it kind of doesn't sound like that's something that you would have to do. Again, get to know my mom, get to know my dad, get to know my brother or sister. But you have to get to know them again, because when you guys went your separate ways, in a lot of ways, everybody was still very young in who they were, and then when you come back, everybody's grown in one way or another, and you're learning new fascinating things about everybody. Sometimes it's frustrating because it's not who you remember, and the changes may bother you, but then other things will remind you of, wow, that takes me back 10 or 11 years, and then as far as having that good integration, I wouldn't say that there is a great integration, but I would say that integration is all about the support that you have. And if you don't have support, like some people do, I was fortunate enough to have my mother and my sister, lean on your friends, or some of your battles that are even still in, that can maybe try to help you, cope with not being a part of that world anymore, and then reintegrating back into, just regular life. And also look into your local VA, look into what programs they have to help you reintegrate. I mean, the VA is very, very good at helping a lot of soldiers. I mean, depending on what their volume is, obviously, but, for the most part, they do have the outlets there for you.
And it's funny you bring that up. And we do hear a lot about the VA and the unfortunate failures thereof. But the truth of the matter is that, in all organizations, there's good and bad. The VA does have a lot of functioning programs in various states that are very, very good and effective at what they do. And there's other states that don't have as effective of programs or the capacity to really do, other things. Like New Mexico, for instance, is a perfect example. They have programs to give veterans bicycles to keep them active. There's Phoenix VA, you can't, they don't want to give you anything, So but at Phoenix VA, they have walk-in mental health ready people to handle crisis situations. So there's different benefits depending on what state you live in and what that area is experiencing. So yes, get integrated, get signed up with your VA. Yes, it's a problematic system. We understand that. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be a part of that system, and try to make it better by reporting bad doctors, by complaining on the complaint line, and doing your part as a experiencer, then how's the system ever going to get fixed? So it's either you can sit here and complain about the VA and it's broke, this, that, and the other. But I always tell people, go get signed up and go press the buttons and tell people to complain about the bad doctors and report them and file cases, because the only way it's going to get better is if we bottom to top. As we know this in the military, the real work gets done by the people at the bottom, and we make the changes possible for the top to manage. So, that's the strategy I think everyone should take. Now, one of the other things coming back, which is difficult, is getting back into the workforce, and a lot of companies, kind of stigmatize vets to some degree, where it's like, ooh, we don't know if we want to have that kind of person here, or, they have PTSD and I don't know if I want to risk hiring them. So first and foremost, just as the people who are listening to this, number one, if you're a veteran and you are retired and you are a disabled vet at even, not that that's a good thing, but if you have a disability status and you're looking for part-time work or something, we would love to have you come and help our organization. We have a commission structure set up already, and we're looking for veterans to join our team. So if you want to join our team and get on some potential commission sales aspect, hit us up, give us a message. We want to help you out as a veteran. So that's my plug for PTSD today. But what was it like getting into the workforce? What's your advice to a veteran transitioning into civilian life, and the best way to get hired, so to speak?
My advice to every veteran, guy or girl, don't limit yourself to your MOS that you learned in the military. It's vital that you dig deep within yourself and you find everything that you're good at. If you're a good sewer, cook, mechanic, receptionist, file clerk, you walk dogs, take care of the elderly, administer medicine. It does not matter what it is that you know how to do. There's a job out there for you. Me, for instance, in the military, I was a cook. I got out. I've done cook jobs. I've actually done a lot of different things, construction, mechanics. I've done sales. It's a lot. I mean, there's so many different things within yourself that you can apply into finding a job. I have a few friends of mine that have only been, oh, well, I was a mechanic in the military and I want to be a mechanic when I get out. No, buddy, you're already a grease monkey for that long, now step up. How about you run the mechanic shop? Or how about you maybe go for a different field? You know what I mean? Still in mechanics, but you're not under the car. Let's say you sell parts, something of that nature. There's always something that can be done, and you yourself, like a lot of people tell yourself, you're your own worst enemy. If you tell yourself you can't do something, you're not going to do it. If I told myself right now, I'm going to become the next, governor of Illinois, then it's on me to do it because I feel like I can do it, not because, I was just a cook in the military, I can't be the governor of Illinois. No, you can be anything you want to be when you get out. And the workforce itself, yeah, they're a little bit wary of hiring veterans, but guess what? It's all in how you present yourself. It's all in how you carry yourself. There's a lot of people out there that really think that going to look for a job is just a very casual thing, When you leave the military, not even leave, when you separate from the military and you're no longer a part of that organization, you still carry that proud walk and that proud talk of being in the military. You look good doing it, you know your stuff, and you get the job done, and you have to be reliable, and that's about the best advice I can give anybody. Don't give up on yourself, and make sure that you just go for what you want, and you'll get it. Trust me when I tell you.
Right. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing with our audience and people who view this, what that transition process is like. So, we're going to have you on again for sure to talk about whatever you want to talk about, regarding mental health and the veteran process and all that kind of stuff. So, before you leave, if you want to get in touch with Perez, where would they go? Do you have an Instagram? Do you have Twitter? Where can they find you and follow you on social?
I have an Instagram at the vet. I think it's thevet._1282. And at Facebook, you can find me at Dom Perez at Facebook. You know what I mean? I'm real easy to find. I have 2 pages, so either one. And yeah, I'm actually getting together my Instagram to put, I'm doing healthy cooking now. So, I've been doing it for a while, but now I actually want to do it and put it out there. So I'm going to do that here at the house. And when I do, I'll be putting them up on Instagram and you can see some of the recipes I have.
Awesome. So again, a prior cook in the Army like myself, Dom Perez. Hey, thank you, brother, for being on, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, brother. Take care, okay?
Hey, so guys, thank you for tuning in today. Again, helpmeptsd.com. That is our website. That's where it's at for mental health and wellness, okay? We are the solution to the mental health and wellness problems you're seeing today. We don't want to have any more $10,000 treatment centers. We don't want to have any more $30 drop-in support groups. We have free support groups. We're going to have a treatment center that opens up and is available to you for 12 months at a time. These are the sustainable business models we're putting into mental health and wellness, and we're here to stay and make an impact in communities across the United States. Most importantly right now in Phoenix, Arizona, because that's where we're starting everything up. So again, head over to helpmeptsd.com. Make your free account today. Again, it's always free for clients. We don't have membership fees, monthly programs for clients. We have qualified professional members with licensed counselors, licensed psychologists, certified health coaches, nutrition specialists, personal fitness trainers, even that we added this week. And they are all there ready to help you get to that next step in your healing process. So go on and make your free account today at helpmeptsd.com. And, hey guys, until next time, be safe, be smart, and, hey, it's only a virus. We'll get through this together, I promise you, and we hope you stay tuned for more educational videos that we have.